Good morning. My name is Jake Straat. This is the Rats Get Fat podcast. I'm sitting here with my friend Zuzz,
Yep, Zuzz Brains.
and we're sitting here on a very cold winter's morning at Black Throne Tattoo in Brisbane, speaking to an absolutely incredible and wondrous human being, Miss Rachi Brains.
Hell yeah. Welcome to the show, Rage.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here.
It's super good to have you here.
Yeah. Hell yeah. It was kind of cool. It was cool that we got the chance to come down here. It was a bit impromptu yesterday. We were going to be hanging out in Rockhampton for an extra day, but things didn't pan out, and here we are.
Perfectly. New jacket arrived.
Yeah.
New jeans arrived.
You're looking very fly.
Got my hair did.
It looks cool. It looks so cool.
You're looking fresh.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Heaps.
Super fresh.
Ah,
How long have you been tattooing now for, Rach?
It was 20 years in November.
no way.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, I was going to do a post for it and then
You're like,
couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
You didn't do it?
Nah.
20 years.
Yeah.
I think that's it's like officially Tat Wizard status.
Is it?
I was talking to Sam.
Oh, 20 years.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah, I thought
20 years.
I thought the 10-year mark would be the Tat Wizard status, but that was like
apparently
the
it's
beginning.
20. Yeah, it's just the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because how did you originally get into tattooing? Like, were you always making art beforehand?
Oh,
Like-
you could call it art. Nah, I was just into music and tattoos. And then one of my friends in high school in grade 9, her family owned Second Skin up in Townsville.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we kind of got stories of tattoos in grade 9, grade 10 or whatever. And it was like Les Bowen's Second Skin in Townsville. So her brothers were Les Bowen Jr. and Leon Rice.
Yes.
And she'd come in and tell us stories about how the boys had tattooed themselves. And, if you're doing a line, you can't stop because, it'll end up with like a big blob. And it was just so fascinating. So that was kind of the first intro to tattoos, and then film clips and that. Yeah.
Was this your first, had you gone and gotten a tattoo by that point?
No, I was only 14, 15.
Yeah, wild.
Thank goodness, because it would have been the Pearl Jam Alive logo all the way around my belly button.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Pearl Jam slaps.
yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. That's
Yeah.
cool. You got exposed to it through a friend.
Yeah, and music too. She introduced us to heaps of punk because of her brothers, Soundgarden, all the sweet grunge, Dead Kennedys, what else? Heaps. Her and her family were pretty pivotal.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, the Bowens, because we went down and spoke to Les
Oh, yeah?
on the podcast.
Oh, cool.
And sat in at Second Skin.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He is
cool.
a sharp bloke.
He's pretty
I
sharp,
bet.
yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty terrifying when I was a kid.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah, he was quiet, but he had those piercing eyes.
Yeah.
He did have piercing
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
So what was if it would have been this mysterious thing at 14 years old, growing up and hearing stories about the tattoo shop?
Yeah.
What sort of sent you in the direction where you?
I don't know. Oh, well, I was in Townsville and then I went to uni and I was doing sciences, like a biomed science, and I changed to computer science, and then, had no idea. It was just killing time.
Yep.
And then I wanted to get out of Townsville, so I applied for graphic design down in Brisbane, moved down to Brisbane, and just living by myself in an Aboriginal hostel that my mum hooked up for me.
Sick.
Through some friend or whatever.
Okay.
And I lived there by myself for a bit and was just not going to uni, sleeping till 2 p.m, staying up till 2 a.m,
Yeah.
curtains drawn, sitting in the dark and just watching anime and drawing pictures. And then I think I drew one picture and I was like, oh yeah, that'd make a cool tat. And it was like ping ping, little light went off and I was like, all right, I'll try this. So I just started drawing for tats.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. And you went about going and seeking an apprenticeship after that point?
No, I was pretty, what's the word? Reclusive.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I was just drawing in the dark for a while, and then I was going to sort of metal-ish shows at the basement, Her Majesty's Bar. One of my friends, Shell, moved to Brisbane, and we went to Her Majesty's and watched the shows, and she was like, oh, there's like hardcore shows down the road at Mary Street, and I had never heard hardcore, so I didn't know anything about it. So we left Her Majesty's, went to Mary Street, and I was blown away because New Settlement Rogue played, and can't remember who else played, but New Settlement Rogue, I think, was the first hardcore band I saw, and it was sick.
Right.
And so, yeah, that put me on a bit of a path for sure. And
Sick.
just started going to shows every Wednesday at Mary Street. Caught a handsome skinhead in the corner there, kept my eye on him for a bit, and
Is this Greg?
Yeah, it was Greg. And then, we went to Beach Road down the Gold Coast, and, Greg's there, a bunch of people I was familiar with. I didn't know any of them. We were just, like, on the outside looking in. And then Greg gets up on stage with Against, and I was like, whoa, look at this fucking sick cunt.
Hell yeah.
Bought a CD off him. We caught eyes a couple times, and
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
it's a nice love story.
Yeah, and then we were together, and he had a little website with all my drawings on it, and he was like, "Oh, so your drawings, what are you doing with those?" And I was like, "Oh, trying to become a tattooer." And he's like, "Oh, I'll introduce you to the dude that's tattooing me." So he introduced me to Link at All Star Tattoo, and Link had just fired or whatever. His apprentice had just left. I don't know what the situation was there, but yeah, perfect timing. Got in. Who you know? Because my drawings are pretty average at best. And they just started going in a few days a week and trying my best to not be a burden, having a good time. Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, Link would have been a great guy to apprentice under, I could imagine.
He's the best.
He is the
Yeah,
best.
he's the best.
He's a lovely dude.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's such a cool in that Greg sort of, I don't know, helped.
Yeah.
Sort of, he was part of the process. He was quite crucial to that moment.
Crucial, yeah. Because I wasn't very social. Like, I was social, but introverted. So he, I don't know, he just got me out there a bit.
Yeah.
I would have just sat in my bedroom probably for years and years.
Still drawing.
Just
Still
drawing.
drawing.
Yeah, dream, fantasizing about a life.
Yeah. One
Doing
day.
tats.
Yeah.
Because it's a wondrous thing, you know. You guys have built just an incredible life together.
Yeah.
And like an incredible shop. It's literally probably my favorite tattoo shop, apart from Royal Blue Tattoo. It's my favorite tattoo shop in Australia. I love Blackthorn. Every time I come to Brisbane, I always try and get in here at least to see you guys.
Yeah, we love it.
Man, it's incredible. It's like a very social little shop.
Yeah.
And it's got more talent than anything. It's insane.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah, it's a real powerhouse here.
Oh,
It's a full powerhouse.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got the respect of every tattooer that I know.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stoked to be here. Stoked to have the place with Greg.
Yeah.
Stoked with everyone here. Like, we all get along so well. Get to chat about tats, make jokes all day.
100%.
Nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great location too.
Yeah, heaps of parking.
Yeah.
Most
You got all
important
the
thing.
cafe down the road and all that.
Fraps,
It's sick.
coffee fraps.
Oh,
Extra
yeah.
shot, no syrup. Yeah.
You get your fraps.
Sick.
Dude.
Yeah. Upper Mount cravats.
Yeah.
Fraps.
The fraps
Yeah.
and gravats.
The fraps and the gravats. No, it's really cool to be here anyway. And it's I don't know. I feel like I learn from you guys, Greg, as much as you.
Huh, cool.
You know, when it comes to like, I don't know, tattooing and life as well.
Oh, yeah. We're definitely like old people adults. Like, as adult as probably I'll ever be. You know, getting up in the morning, having a shower, brushing my teeth sometimes. You know, sometimes making the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming into work 5 days a week.
Hell
Wow.
yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yes.
Ah.
Well, yeah, it's so sick and super inspiring.
Oh, yeah,
As like
cool.
a younger tattooer who also has a shop.
Yeah.
But
Oh, it's awesome. It's really, it's definitely an inspiring atmosphere being in here.
Oh,
You
cool.
know,
Yeah.
Getting to see all the tats.
We planned the building pretty extensively. Like, when we first moved in, it was just like a big white room.
Yeah.
But then it was, when we first got the lease, it was a big white room. Just was an advertising agency before we were here. And then I think we signed the lease, and then COVID happened, and we had 3 months off. So, I had 3 months off. Greg was still working in the kitchen.
yeah.
So I just sat at home feeling weird, not knowing who I was, and then, built the 3D model in that SketchUp, Google SketchUp.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You did it through COVID.
Yeah, fully measured, like all the skirting, every wall, put the dual lux
wild.
colour swatches in. We put the furniture in. You can drag like furniture templates in and all that. And so we built
Sick.
the whole place, problem solved all the issues like well before we started building. And so by the time it came to the guys coming in and building it, which Greg hooked up completely with everyone that he knew through the cafe down there, and it was pretty pain free. Yeah,
Dope.
all sorted, no
Holy.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, real organised.
Very organised. Yeah, I like it.
Well, yeah, you guys are about to do the roof now.
The roof,
Greg was
painting
telling
the
me.
roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. He was telling me this morning, and you guys going to knock down some walls.
Yeah.
It's exciting to make
Haven't-
more booths.
That's right. Haven't told the council about it, but should
Oh,
be
well.
fine.
Yeah, for sure. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Because it's, you guys have so many tattooers beating on your door to come and work here.
Oh, is there?
So it's like,
Where are they? Come on in. Come
yeah.
on.
Well, I think it's important to have as much space as possible.
Yeah, yeah.
It's tricky. Like with our shop, we've literally got this. This is our whole shop.
Oh, yeah.
We've got 3 bays.
Yeah.
But
That's nice too. I like cozy.
it is good.
You know, like
Yeah.
and tight.
It is really good.
Yeah, yeah. The one thing about having the big room with the big booths is, if someone's home or if at the moment we're one down, well, we're 2 down, Anna and Ant having left, and then we got Ben Hale now, but we're 2 people down, then we've added 1 person.
Yes.
So, one booth's empty and it just, because it's bigger, you feel the emptiness.
Okay.
Yeah, so I definitely, like the bodies in here. I like the buzz. I like people
For
staring,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been chill, which is nice too.
Yeah, it is nice. It sort of seems like it's going through like a little bit of like a
Transition.
a change of pace, or
Oh, for sure.
there's a new page turning.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
nice.
I love change.
It's
Yeah.
nice.
So good.
It's refreshing.
Oh, it's so awesome.
It is refreshing.
Yeah, you get bored otherwise. I get bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. We're always looking at ways that we can try and change up our shop,
Yeah.
but it's tricky. You get to a certain point and it starts to plateau, and you're like, what can we do to make the place cool?
Yeah.
Our shop's just chock a block full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
They couldn't put anything more on the wall.
Yeah. All we can
Yeah.
do now is just do mad tats.
That's
yeah,
it.
Exactly.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I feel like sometimes the less you try, the better it is. The
Yeah.
more I try, like the more I care, it seems to be a balance between like caring too much and caring too little.
Mm.
Like sometimes I'm like, I care so much, I'm trying real hard. And it's too much, like everything gets real stifled because you're trying to keep it, like control the outcome a bit.
Sure.
And then as soon as you're like, whatever,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it's chill, it's good.
Yeah.
Cool tats come out because you just,
But your creative process of like, especially with your homework side of things, is quite. You put a lot of time in behind the scenes when it comes to like drawing up that person's tattoo.
sometimes.
Okay. Okay. Every time I've been around you, you've always been
We've got
doing.
homework.
Yeah, I've always got homework, but I always feel like I'm never doing enough. And I think Dinny's back that I outlined,
That was sick.
I put in the work for that one
Yeah.
for sure.
Sure.
And I think I'm just a bit like sensitive or whatever. So if the client, I'm impacted heaps by the client. So if I think they're unsure or they don't know who they are or they want a tat from me for anything other than the fact that they love it, it impacts the outcome every time.
Really?
Yeah. If I know they are just like, yep, love those skulls, get them on me, however you want it, and I know they're honest, then great tat.
Yeah.
Or whatever, it can be anything. But if they know what a good tattoo is and they want just a good tattoo and they're chill, good outcome.
Yeah.
As soon as they're like, I want what you used to do.
Yes, the neo-traditional stuff.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
it comes out like garbage.
Really?
To me, yeah, it's crap. Because it's like, I don't have it in my heart. It's like,
Because for a long time you were known for that.
yeah.
That was your thing. Like I've got a book at home, which I bought on eBay randomly for a couple of bucks or something, and it was like Australian tattooers. It was the book produced by Bugsy.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And like we were opening it, I was like, oh my God, what the hell? And there was like Gary Craigsman and all these crazy like
Yeah, and his
guys that I
brother.
know. And yeah, your art was in there, and I could not believe it. And it was all your really old neo-traditional stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like a photo of you and Greg. real young.
That's the most.
And you guys were
embarrassing
young.
photo. We were young. Yeah.
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 Yeah, very young. And I could not believe it. It was incredible. But it was like the who's who of like Australian tattooing.
Yeah.
Like back in the 2000s.
Is that made with electricity?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yep.
cool.
But it's interesting to see like from what you doing, like what changed to now you're kind of doing something so different?
Just how I feel.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, I think when I started tattooing, I was heaps emo, just like metalcore, behemoth, just like real serious, real emo, heaps sad.
Hell yeah.
So there's heaps of crying girls and,
Yes.
I don't know, just emo stuff.
Yeah.
And then as things change, I'm, trying to be taken seriously, or more like trying to take myself seriously, do better tattoos. And then I think something that changed from the original tattoos I was doing was I went to the London convention in 2008, not to work, just me and Alison Manners went there on a little holiday. And we went to the convention, and I got tattooed off Uncle Alan there. And I just got like a ram's head, with upside down cross and all the mad shit.
Classic.
Yeah. And then he was drawing it, but he was drawing it over a photo. And I'd never seen anyone like draw an outline over a picture of a photo of an animal before. I used to just draw them, And I was like, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
So then from that point on, I started using a lot more photo reference. And that was kind of cool for a while because it meant I could draw things that I couldn't normally draw and a lot more efficiently. But then as time went on, I started leaning really heavily onto the photo reference, and it kind of started taking this weird realism-y thing. And a few, maybe like 5, 6, 7 years of that, by the end of Black Throne at Paddington, I felt like I couldn't draw anymore.
Sure.
Yeah, it was really weird. I was just like so dissatisfied. The tattoos were taking ages. I feel like they weren't healing that well, not as well as I would like. And it's more like taking ages. Like I was getting bored. I didn't like charging people very much. Like it just, if someone could sit through it and get through it, I could usually come out with something I was happy with. But what I had to put into it, most people couldn't follow through with that.
Sure.
Yeah. So then when we moved here, I was like, I can't do any more big work. I'm not happy with it. So I just started again. Just tried to learn how to draw again, like from small. Yeah. And that's how the skulls happened. I was like, what do I draw? I got no ideas because I've been leaning on other people's ideas for years. Yeah. I was like, I just like skulls. So that's it. That's what happened with that.
It's so sick.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like I've got a little Rachi Brains tattoo, like my little one, and it's just wild because I don't understand how like such evil and like gnarly shit comes out of someone so sweet. You know what I mean? Like
I'm grim on the inside.
Well, yeah, obviously, but you're so polite and lovely. Anyone who knows you, but like, but that tattoo was so sick, and that like inspired loads of other tattooers to like start getting these.
Oh yeah.
And like loads of tattooers that I know, I'll show them, and they'll say, "Oh, you're wearing that one."
Oh, cool.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." They're like, "Oh, that's what made me want to get." Like Zach got the top of his foot done, and like different bits and pieces. You know,
you got a couple of rib ones too.
Yeah. Just like a tribal. Because you asked me, you said, "What do you want?" I said, "Oh, whatever, man. Like, I don't really care about what the tattoo looks like. It's more about like just getting a tattoo. Like that's how I collect tattoos. It's more about the person than the actual image."
Yeah, I felt that. It's funny when you were like, "Oh, I want a tat." I'm like, "Oh, I got to do something cool. What do I do? What do I do?" And you were like, "Just whatever." And I was like, "Oh, he means it." And I was like, "Sick, I'm going to do the easiest shit I can."
Yeah. And it's so sick.
Yeah, just a skull and some tribal, easy.
You do.
Yeah.
It's the goods.
Well, yeah, because I'd spent the week here tattooing, and I was like, it's like a rite of passage. I believe if you get tattooed, you have to be able to get tattooed.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, if you give tattoo, you have to be able to get tattooed.
Yeah.
So like, I can punish as many people as possible during a week, but I keep myself, in that like thing by like, I'm going to get a tattoo and I still know how it feels.
Yeah.
Keeps me like...
honest.
Yeah. Keeps me, I don't know.
Empathetic.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Like empathy's everything.
And humane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. There's a lot of tattooers that don't get tattooed as often as they, I don't know.
Well, definitely not as often as they tattoo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think I need to cop a tat off a Pintos machine because I've been using that Martin Pintos liner.
Okay.
And it rips. It's like, psh, like every
No
hit
way.
is like, yeah.
Yes. It's power.
Sick.
Yeah, it's so good. So
Yeah.
powerful. You don't have to slow down for it. Sometimes a little too powerful, but
Holy.
better to be too powerful than not powerful enough.
Yeah.
Yes. Because what are you using? So you're using a Martin Pintos to line, and then what are you using to do all your shading?
Oh, changes heaps. I got a Corin machine that was real cheap from, I think they're from Brazil.
Yes.
Maybe William Yoniyama has something to do with that. Don't quote me. He's got something to do with it. I don't know what. It was like $350 or something Australian delivered. Beautiful machine called the Brooklyn. Been using that for shading. Got FTW Morgan shader. That's pretty sweet. I got the Lucky's Rollo, which I was shading with for a bit. I got Gus machines that I was shading for a bit. What else? Donny Irish machine. I just change all the time.
All coils?
All coils.
For shading?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a Lithuanian Irons pen machine because John had one, and John tattoos perfect. So I was like, whatever John's doing, I'm doing. And he was already using the Pintos when he started working here. I was like, oh, another Pintos person, sick.
Yeah.
And then he had the Lithuanian Irons machine. And I thought, oh, I'll grab one of those because what he's doing looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So I got one of those, and it's sick, but I don't know, the coil. I just got more control. Feels more fun. My shoulder and my wrist hurt. I feel like I've done a good day's work.
We've spoken a lot on this podcast about like the the benefit of coil machines, and I find like especially with shading, like it slows down. Like the slowdown on the A bar is just so much more like, I don't know, pleasant on the skin.
Oh yeah.
And like it heals a lot better.
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Not for me.
Okay.
I mean, I would say I probably get a better heel out of a rotary, the pen. Like it's smoother, less trauma, all that sort of stuff. But it's just not as fun.
Yes. I love the sound of the coils.
Yeah, the feel. You know, the hand, as soon as it touches the skin, you're like, riding a little motorbike.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
It is like riding a little
Yeah,
motorbike.
it's sweet.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, a rotary is like an electric scooter. Still sick. Still
cool.
sick fun, but
Yeah.
it's not the same, is it?
No, it's not.
You can't account for that feeling. It's like, it's all about, I think, creating art and creating tattoos. It's all about enjoying the process of it.
Yeah.
First and foremost. That's when the best stuff comes.
Feels fun, looks good.
Yeah.
If it feels good, looks good.
100%.
Yeah, it feels like shit. Might still look okay to someone, but not to you.
Yeah. Still doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure like you could push in any which direction and I don't know, everyone's going to love it. Like it seems like what you do is like pretty, I don't know, it's cutting edge.
Oh, that's cool.
With your tats.
Yeah. People have always responded well.
Yeah.
More, I'm never satisfied. Like when I look at it, I'm like, cool. Could be better. You know?
I feel like that's always the case with artists, Your taste is always like 2 steps ahead of your ability. So you're constantly chasing that.
Yeah. I just want to be versatile, and I want the job to be stress-free, So I think you have to put in a lot of practice behind the scenes, really draw just for practice.
Yeah.
How do I draw a tiger? Find Mark Nather tiger.
Yeah.
Copy it 30 times.
Yeah.
Hopefully learn how to draw it eventually, but I'm not at that point. That's just the next goal.
100%.
Steal.
Sick.
Not steal it, but just work out what makes the good bits look good and then get loose with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like when you finally understand something and what makes it look good, that's when you can kind of take it and spin it to make it your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible though that you can do that with like lines and circles, on paper and like just
It's all just lines.
it either
it's all
looks good or
shapes.
bad.
Yeah.
And it's like what makes it look good, what makes it look bad.
Yeah.
I think a little bit of foresight makes a difference too. You can get a tiger reference and kind of just copy it, but once you've sort of practiced and copied it a little bit, then when you look at the paper, you can kind of see it appear before it appears, and that's when things are good because they sort of reveal themselves to you a little bit, rather than you trying to painstakingly draw a line and be like, nope, erase.
Yeah.
Like that sucks.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
That's most of the time, though. 90% of the time.
It's a learning curve. I feel like you're always learning though.
Oh yeah.
Forever learning and pushing.
Yeah.
That's the good part about it. I think it would suck if you had nothing more to learn. If you were just like, oh, I know how to do everything. It's like playing a...
Those people suck.
Yeah.
Are they out there though? I've never met one.
I've
I
met
don't know.
heaps.
Oh,
and
really?
Their tats aren't good.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They stop learning.
Yeah,
Oh,
they think they're done. They're
Okay.
like, oh, I'm really good or
Yeah.
whatever. And sorry, I shouldn't say this. But it's like, yeah.
No,
you
that's
know,
fine.
just
No, speak your mind.
like, always more. There's always more to do. Give it a go. Try something different. What can't be doing the same thing all the time and expect to be happy.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's nice to like venture out into like different styles and stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes you take something from that style and bring it back into your other work, and it melds. It's ever changing, you know.
Just trying to draw some pleasure from it.
Yeah.
It's all about the pleasure.
Yeah.
Sure
I don't know. Like I always try to look at it how I did when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
You know, drawing, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It's what you do when you know, don't feel like doing anything else.
Yeah.
If you're bored, you know,
Yeah.
you draw.
Yeah.
I think it's easy for a lot of people to, especially in this line of work, just equate it with work and work alone.
Yeah. I do like the balance. I like the, seeing a tattoo you like and putting some time in to learn and practice. And it's not that it's not fun, but it's not, what's the word? It's not just pleasure. It's more sort of study.
Sure.
Yeah, I like the study side of it a lot.
Okay.
Just thinking about why something looks good, and we can tell it's all feeling. You can have the structure, but the feeling's what makes it look sick.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you can try and analyze it and pull it apart. And
It's just the person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It is something enjoyable about like studying that kind of stuff and like trying to look at what looks good. I don't know, and realize every now and then you have those like breakthrough epiphanies, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I think I get it.
Yeah.
You know,
The older you get, the less it comes. That's for sure.
It's phenomenal, hey.
yeah,
It's like, and sometimes it's so obvious.
yeah,
And you're just like, wow, why didn't I even think of that before?
yeah.
Like it was like for me for many years when I was like learning tattooing and stuff, and I never used to draw to the shape of the body for some unknown reason. And nowadays I only ever draw to the shape of the body, and I feel that my tattoos look better now because of it.
What do you mean by that? Like you have a photo of the body and draw on a photo of the body, or are you drawing on the body straight away, or?
Well, yeah, I'll do a mix of both, or I'll get a tracing of exactly what they've got. I find it so important. You know?
Yeah.
But like I never used to do that, and like when that clicked, I was like, oh, I'm so stupid. I don't know, like all these years, what have I been doing?
Yeah, I think I started doing that kind of early on because I got a tattoo that was like really static. So it was this guy, a couple of my friends came over. Well, they weren't my friends at the time. They became my friends. Salem and Jeremy. And I think they came over from HB Tattoo in San Diego, or maybe one of them was in Oakland. Anyway, they came over and they were working at All-Star Tattoo for a little while, a couple of weeks or something. And Jeremy was just a first-year apprentice, but he had like a sketchbook. He was a graffiti artist. He had some cool drawings. And I was like, oh, yeah, that one's sick. Chuck it on my arm. So I put this tattoo on my arm, and the drawing's cool, tat's cool, first-year pretty good for a first-year apprentice. But it was just a drawing straight on. And I already had some other stuff on there, so, there's like weird gaps. And I was like, I should have mentioned it. I should have said, I'll chuck a leaf in there or whatever, like fill it up. So I remember just looking at it and always being dissatisfied with the gaps that were left. And I think just getting that tattoo actually was like, all right, I'm not going to leave any weird gaps. I'm going to make sure it, goes over the joins, whatever, fill it in, make it look sick.
Yeah,
that's sick that you sort of brought that into your own tattooing from getting a tattoo from someone else.
Yeah.
You're actually learning not just from doing your own tattoos, you're learning from other people's tattoos.
Yeah, what I like and what I don't like.
Yeah.
And it's usually what I don't like.
Yeah,
the criticism, always the criticism. You're like,
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's important for it to look natural.
Yeah.
On the body. If you get weird gaps, or if it doesn't sit right or it doesn't flow right, it's just like, I don't know. There's something off about it.
Yeah.
And no matter how well it's executed.
Yeah, no. And then also, I think there's sometimes you're filling up the gaps too much,
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can kind of take away from the sort of main part of it or whatever.
Can't breathe.
Yeah.
Suffocated. Yeah.
Because can you explain to us a little bit about your own design process because you do a lot of large scale work. You tattoo full backs, you tattoo full arms, full legs. People come to you with a concept and you just say, I got you.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of insight behind your own creative process when it comes to like creating something for someone.
Well, It varies, unfortunately. I'd love it to be consistent, but it does vary. So if it's something I'm not good at drawing and actually I'm not that interested in, and I know they're not that interested in my drawing, they kind of want something different. You know, I can feel it. Then I'll use photo reference. You know, if they just want. I mean, it's terrible. I really should just be drawing the way I want to draw, but you know, if I can feel that they want a certain thing, I want to deliver. You know, if they want an old style Rachi thing, I'm like, that's what they want. I don't want to tattoo something they don't want. Maybe they don't know what they actually want. Maybe if I just drew it, they'd be stoked, probably. But my feelings get too, you know, I'm too affected by them, so I have a bit of a hard time. But I'll use a photo reference for something like that. But something like Dinny's back, Josh's back, Big Skull back piece, the Rock of Ages one, that's just sick fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just starts loose. Like, just, you know, get a photo of their body or whatever, or not even. The skull one was just like drawing that big, blew it up, added more, blew it up, added more. Just draw layers, heaps of tracing paper, heaps and heaps and heaps of tracing paper over and over. Dinny's one was probably like 8 or 9 pieces of tracing paper, several drafts. I might scan it in, put it in Procreate, move it around, change things, print it out, draw again. You know, with Dinny's, that's what I did. And they're the most successful ones. When I'd like draw on paper, a few drafts, scan it in, or photograph it or whatever, draw over the top, move it around, print it out again. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Do you find you prefer drawing on paper still?
Oh, yeah.
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 There's something about it, eh? That kind of like, the feeling of pencil on paper.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I dislike iPads as far as what I see it does to people's style. Obviously it's amazing tool, pretty necessary, I reckon.
Real practical.
Yeah, and I used to draw exclusively on a Wacom tablet for years, and that was all right. It was actually pretty close to paper, except for the screen in your eyes all the time. But yeah, I can't achieve. I can't achieve what I want to achieve on an iPad at all. Like, I can't draw on it. I can sketch, maybe like make some ideas or like quick color study or shading or whatever, but nah, I can't draw on it at all.
Yeah. I always feel like the designs, like personally, I feel like they always come out a bit closer to how you imagine them when you do it on paper. Yeah. It has that feeling, like you get a good line, you're like,
yeah, it's your expression. It's like a little dance of the wrist.
That's nice.
Yes. Yeah. But on the iPad, it's just stifled. And I feel like almost everyone, no, I wouldn't say everyone, but almost everyone I see using an iPad to draw, their work is stifled, the proportions are wrong, the spacing's wrong. To me, like, all the detail, sizing is wrong. You know, it just doesn't feel honest.
Yes.
I get that it's efficient, and when I say honest, I don't mean they're being dishonest. I just mean I want to see them. I want to see what comes out of them, and I feel like there's this weird, like, filter in
It's
between
super
them.
refined.
And I just, I dislike it.
Yeah.
I always dislike it.
How deep into tattooing were you before you thought, all right, I'm going to start using a Wacom tablet?
When I started doing bigger stuff, I think.
Sure.
So I was always drawing on paper in the beginning as well, always heaps of tracing paper. And then I got one of those little bamboo pads that you just plug in and you look at the screen and you drawing like this. That's pretty cool. That's cool. Yeah, I think it was bigger stuff because it was just trying to put a lot of things together, and I kind of want to like sit back from it a bit. Otherwise, I get a bit like,
Yes.
Yeah. So that's, I can't remember, 7, 8 years, 9 years.
Sure. And then how long before you went and, got the iPad? And like, what was that defining moment? Was someone around you with an iPad and they were...
Oh, no, I had the Wacom tablet. So I went from the little one, then I got a huge desktop one, and then it just wasn't practical because I wanted to like just chill out, sit on the couch or sketch at home or whatever. And so I just got a iPad because, it's more portable.
Yeah, they're super portable, hey?
Yeah.
They're real handy.
Yeah, for years when I first started tattooing, it was just on paper, and I really wasn't keen on the iPad at all.
Oh, yeah.
But we had a young lady start at the shop, and she had an iPad, and she was sitting there like playing around with it, and I was kind of just like watching over her shoulder. I said, "Oh, do you mind if I watch for a bit?" She said, "No, it's all good." And she was explaining a few things, and I said, "I've got to go get one of these fucking things." It's insane. but I do believe it made me a lot lazier as a tattooer
Okay.
with like design and everything. Like, and I feel like it's so like handy and convenient that a lot of people, you know, we're not as, you know, as sharp as we could be because of it.
I just feel like the pencil, it's like the same as the machine, you know, like you kind of push. I mean, not that you're pushing the machine, but you got a bit of drive on it.
Yes.
You know, you can really like, you speed up, slow down, whatever, flick it out here or there, which I guess you can do on an iPad.
Doesn't have the same feel though.
It's not the same feel for me. I like the traction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the traction.
It's all
Yeah.
about the texture.
Sick, yeah.
Like colour
it's
pencil.
texture.
Yeah, I like
Colour
that you can
pencil.
push
Oh.
that pencil in there and crumbs just fly off everywhere. And
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wonderous
Makes
thing.
a mess, makes a huge mess.
For
Awesome.
sure.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of childhood like creativity coming
yeah.
back again.
Yeah, I don't know. Just it's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like using colour pencils on tracing paper.
Oh yeah.
Has that like waxy
that's nice,
feeling?
isn't
It's
it?
like
So shiny.
yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, it
So
is
nice.
nice. It is shiny and
Yeah.
It could be just that I don't know how to use the programs that good either. You know, some people. I love digital art, but tattooing, I don't know.
it's different to
Yeah.
digital art, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
tattooing and-
Tattooing's a physical thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, it's crazy because a lot of people are now getting into the industry and they're not using any paper and they're not using, like, they're learning on little wireless machines and everything. Like, it's so far from where it started, and it's, you just wonder sort of where it's going to really go.
Yeah, I think they get real stuck too. You know, there's a few people, you know, I don't know how to progress, or you know, like, oh, how do I get my style going or whatever. It's like just draw on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, if someone wants a tiger or whatever, you know, you might find a tiger tattoo and, oh yeah, all right, like, you know, just kind of draw it, take the stuff you don't like,
Yeah.
take the stuff you like, add another little thing.
Exactly.
Might be shit, but eventually it won't be.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah. I think people are super concerned with like finding their style real quickly.
Yeah. And it's funny because your style is just like you trying to draw the best you can.
Yeah.
It's just like you just try and do the best you can.
Yeah.
And then it's not about style, it's just
Nah.
about trying to do a good job.
See, that's the perfect outlook for it.
Yeah.
I think we get too caught up in like pushing to go one direction with the style instead of just thinking like, oh, I hope it's good.
People are too worried about themselves. It's like you customer wants something.
Yeah.
They want, you know, sorry to bring a tiger again. I'm just thinking about a specific
That's
tiger.
all
One
right,
of the
that's all right.
first little custom things I had to do,
Yeah.
which was like a mama tiger, baby tiger, tribally vines, maybe a rose, I can't quite remember, you know,
Yeah.
black and grey on the lady's ribs. And I'm like, all right, well, she wants, you know, kind of realistic-y Cherry Creek sort of
Yeah.
tiger thing, and I'm going to do that. You just draw it as best you can.
Yes.
And then that's just what happens.
Yeah.
You know, you doing your best is what brings the style.
It's refreshing as well. You sort of talking about like what your client wants and that how important that actually is, because I think as well with tattooing, a lot of people don't take that into consideration. They're like, well, it's my art, you know.
Yeah, I
They
think
can
there's a
take it or leave
balance
it.
with
Yeah.
that too. You know, like your client wants something. If you think you can achieve what they want and it will be a good tattoo,
Mm.
then great. But you know, sometimes they want things that are shit.
Yes.
So you gotta save them from
So
themselves.
yeah, sometimes you gotta intervene a little bit, or at least offer the option, or talk about it if you think there's a better option. But I don't like to push anyone. You know,
Yeah.
if they're sort of not into it, neither am I.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's a collaboration.
Yeah, yeah.
Tattooing.
Yeah, at least the starting phase is, the concept phase, and,
Mm.
you know, their vision is, but after that's mine.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and then after that it's theirs again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they get to enjoy it for the rest of their life
Yeah, hopefully.
and really cherish it.
Yeah, or at least, you know, if they don't enjoy it, they'll learn something about themselves, like, oh, I'm not the person that wants a skull.
Sure.
I thought I was, but
Turns out I'm not.
No.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Oh, sick. I think yeah, it's always like a bit of a push and pull, give and a take. Having fun with a tattoo whilst also like, you know, doing something they're gonna enjoy.
Yeah,
It is on them at the end of the day.
yeah. I try and do all give, but sometimes that doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
Like, do what you want as well. Try and do what you want. Try and do what you want.
Yeah. It always comes back to enjoying it
Yeah.
as well.
But I think you would have the sort of clientele that would be totally trusting and like somewhat carefree.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's just like anyone.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's varied,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Do you ever have people coming through and they say, "Oh, I've heard that you're the best, and I want this like, I don't know, this like something that you really aren't into, or like how do you sort of talk to that person and like go about, I don't know, like what's the end result in that scenario?"
Oh, it depends how tired I am. Sometimes if I'm really tired, I have a hard time being honest.
Okay.
Like, you know, if I've got my wits about me and someone's like, "Oh, hey, I want this thing," I'll be like, "Look, I don't do like, it doesn't come out like that anymore. If I could do what you wanted and it would look good, I would do it. But unfortunately, it won't turn out like that. It's going to turn out more like this. So make sure that's what you want. And if you're 100% on it, me too. But when I'm tired and someone comes in or it's a little quiet and they're like, "Hey, I want this thing," you know, like little girl crying
Okay.
with like graveyard stones around her or something, I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Okay.
I don't feel that way anymore, so it's hard to tap into that feeling in order to, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of have to feel it. Like the skulls, nowadays I'm so stoked pretty much most of the time that it's like, I'm just like, having a nice time.
Yeah.
So trying to tap into the like, sad emo feelings to like draw like some shit. I can't tap into it anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
I just don't feel like
You're like-
self-pity that much. Like, I still do. Obviously, everyone does a little bit here and
Yeah.
there where you feel sorry for yourself, but not generally. So
Yeah.
how hard to try and be like,
Life's hard.
can't do it.
It is hard.
Yeah. So,
Honesty.
yeah.
Honesty's the best policy, I guess,
And
right?
plus also
Yeah.
it's like I want people to feel good when they look at their tats. I don't want them to feel self-pity or sadness or anything like that. I want them to be like, fuck, yeah,
Yep.
you know?
Hell yeah.
I just went and hurt and paid for this big thing, and
Yeah.
I'm stoked on it.
I want to look in the mirror and feel strong. Like,
Yeah.
I want them to feel powerful. I want them to feel sick,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
Got a big skull on me.
Yeah.
Rad.
Just mad shit. Like bold too,
Yeah.
you know? Something a bit risky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they think, every time they think, I'm not good enough. People don't like me. You're like, look what you just did. That's sick.
Yeah.
You can
I
do
agree.
anything.
I agree.
I think, yeah, tattoos have like a really positive effect on myself personally.
Yeah.
Like from my experience. Like, I don't know, whenever you're having a bad day, you can be like, I've been through worse. you
Yeah.
know?
Yes, you have.
You look in the mirror, you're like, I look sick. It's okay.
Well, you were, from the outside looking in, you were the most introverted, sort of quiet dude. I couldn't get 2 words out of you when I first met you. Zuzz wouldn't say nothing to no one. He'd just smile and nod and be real weird and quiet and cross his arms all the time. And
Yeah.
and I've tattooed his whole body. He's got his arms and his legs done, and he's the most confident person now. And he talks to anyone and everyone
Yeah.
Yeah.
with confidence, and he exudes whatever the word is. He gives off confidence,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
he's a confident fella.
Yeah. I went to like a family barbecue recently. It was more like a party up at Mount Garnet, and I was seeing some like my mates' parents I hadn't seen in a few years. And yeah, they told me I kind of had a quiet confidence about me now. I'm like, I don't know, I don't feel any different, but okay. You know, maybe it's just the tats that give that off, but
No.
No,
I don't know.
it's your attitude when it comes to wearing the tats.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
I think it comes with the territory of like being in a career that I'm happy with as well. There's something
Yeah.
about knowing you belong on a certain path. You're like, all right, I got shit sorted.
Yeah, and just
You know?
working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just working, having a job to do, doing
Yeah.
the best you can, making
Yeah.
people happy if you can.
For sure.
You know, then you're like, cool.
Hey, Rachi, did you collect tattoos before you started tattooing, or did you start getting tattooed when you got your apprenticeship?
I only had one tattoo when I started my apprenticeship, and Leon Rice did it. It was a little tribal thing on the back of my neck, like lower back neck thing.
Yeah.
thought it was pretty cool.
Sick. You got that done at Second Skin
I
in
got that
Townsville?
at Second Skin in Townsville.
Killer.
Yeah. And then
Rad.
when I moved to Brisbane, I was just on, like, working part-time at Coles, checkout chick, and, on New Start. And I just used to waste all my money on iced coffees and comics.
Rad.
That's so cool.
So I had no money. And, just really irresponsible and useless pretty much. So, I never had any money. I had to borrow 50 cents for a bus fare from my neighbour, who was also on welfare.
Sick.
So,
Hell yeah.
so no, I never had any tats. I'm trying to blame it on being poor, but it was more just like being useless. And yes, I started tattooing. I think I got one tattoo, like on an outline on my arm, in the first 6 months or something of my apprenticeship, because it was free. I mean, and also I wanted it, but I didn't have to pay.
Yes. Who did that? Who did that tattoo?
Andy Tat did that for me, but it was my drawing. This is another thing. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
I got so many tattoos that I drew.
Have you still got the tattoo, or have you since lasered it?
That one's lasered. I got my elbow tattoo. I drew that, lasered that. Obviously every tattoo I've had any part in, I'm just like, oh, what an idiot. I just didn't know. I just didn't know anything. Didn't know anything at all. Then Clint tattooed my inner forearms, my drawings as well. They're lasered. So I had a few tats, but I drew them all, and then it started getting good, obviously, when other people were tattooing me their drawings. And I was like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
This is
Yes.
good. This is good. So Salem tattooed the side of my leg. He just came from San Fran, and he's like, I think it was 2004, 2005, something like that. And he's like, let me tattoo the side of your leg. I was like, all right. And he's like, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, oh, what are you, Leo? I said I was Leo. And he's like, all right. So he drew some like barbarian chick wearing a Leo headdress with bloody blood dripping out of a cup and a couple of Little Shop of Horrors plants down the bottom and vines.
Dope.
And she's wearing like leather with huge tits. And I was like, sick.
Rad.
So sick. That's insane.
Yeah. And then what did I get after that? I think I did a bit of travel and started getting stuff on my legs. I got like Eli Quinner's tat and Steve Byrne tat. Seth Wood came over. I got a tat off him. Got a Mike Rubendahl tat from 2009. It's pretty sweet.
Dope.
Yeah, big peony. I got my back. I started getting my back done off Owen Williams. Once I was into it, once I realised how to get tattooed,
Yes.
and how to be happy with them, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, dang it. You just go get a tattoo of
Yeah.
someone. that
Live
you
and
like.
learn.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Oh, well.
it's sweet. No, I'm happy.
Figure it out.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's incredible to like go and do traveling and tattooing
Yeah.
and like get tattooed
Yeah,
whilst traveling and stuff. It's a bloody wondrous thing.
it is.
lovely.
Yeah, it's a real treat. Yeah.
It's real special. It's
Yeah.
really, really special.
The only bummer about it is not being able to get bigger tattoos, like while you're traveling, while you're working, or at least thinking that you can't. I just always got sort of smaller ones because I was like, all right, I got to work,
Yeah.
I got to fly, I got to walk around. Like, oh, I better
Yeah.
conserve as much energy as I can, but still get a tat if I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's also incredibly painful and you don't want to bite off more than you can chew as well.
Yeah, I didn't really mind then. I don't remember being like afraid of the pain too much. Now a little bit more, but still, it's fine.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah,
I'm like, every time I get a tattoo, I'm like, if it's over 2.5 hours, I'm just like, oh, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
That's it. 2.5 hours, I'm good.
yeah.
And I'm like, that'll be me, thanks. It's just a little
Yeah.
taste
Yeah.
now.
I can cop that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's going to be longer, I want to be prepared. Like,
Yeah.
Bacardi or Valium or something, a
Okay.
bit of
Yeah.
Xanax. There's something to help a little bit. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really dabbled with that stuff.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when I was getting my back tattooed off Owen, I was like, half a Valium and then 20 meg oxy. Whew, 6-7 hours. What a treat.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
You're okay with like it at all?
I had numbing cream too for a couple of them because the first 2 sessions, I did 2 sessions back to back for the outline. They weren't even long.
Yeah.
That rocked me. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, what a fucking pussy.
No way.
What was the tattoo? What was the
what'd
tattoo
you
of?
get?
It's like a big snake and a toad, a huge toad wrangling a huge snake. with rope, and he's got like little Japanese, I don't know what the Japanese word is, but the little loincloth with the rope.
Oh, yes.
And he's got like a dragon tat, and he's wrangling the snake and pulling this like rope. And
Yeah.
then down the back of the thighs, like rabbit and rats all pulling the rope as well, and cherry blossoms and shit.
Sick.
Okay.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Damn.
Have to meet Owen one day.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him at that London convention again, 2008.
Mm.
And Ali Manners and I were there. You know, a few Aussies were there, and he was there, and I saw a tat he did on the side of, whose neck was it? I can't remember whose neck. It was a great tattoo, and I remember being like, wow, that is a great tattoo. And then I met him, and he was so Aussie. And I was like, that's the guy.
Because he's like from Cairns as well, I'm pretty sure.
Is he? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, my stepdad grew up with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant illustrator, brilliant tattooer.
Yeah.
I was stoked.
Was he tattooing in Cairns?
No, he was just from Cairns.
Okay.
He was who I first heard about tattooing
Okay.
through. It was like,
Really?
he's my stepdad, well, my old stepdad's cousin. And
Is
was,
he?
Yeah, yeah. And he was telling me he used to like travel around and learn how to tattoo like Japanese and stuff like that. And I was like, that's sick.
Yeah.
I want to do that one
Yeah, he
day.
was at Trevor McStay's shop for a bit in Dynamic. I feel like that's where all the heavy hitters go.
Yeah,
Learn off Trev.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really interesting. It's a small world, tattooing,
Yeah.
especially in Australia.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's bigger now.
Oh,
I have a
yeah.
really hard time
keeping track.
keeping up. Like, and I'm on it. Like, I'm on Instagram looking at all the tats. Who's doing the tats? Who's doing the sickest tats?
Mm.
And I still, every day, I'm like, who is that? I
Yeah.
have never seen these tattoos before in my life, and they're sick. Never even heard of this person.
Yeah.
You know, that guy in Tasmania, Bo.
Bo
Yeah.
Maslin
Bo's
at
just
Takumi Tattoo.
sick.
Yeah, didn't even know his shop was there until Sam went down there, and I was like,
Yep.
sick.
He's
Follow,
like
follow,
a-
follow.
Mm.
Because Sam hit me up. Sam hit me up and said, "Oh, who should I go and work with in Launceston?" I said, "Oh, you got to go see Bo. He's like an Irizumi master, and he's just so like humble and just got this little quiet life.
Yeah,
It's
I've heard his
incredible.
name, but you know,
Yeah,
it's pretty bad
Yeah.
with names.
it's hard though because like the tattooers in the city and the States and stuff, they're like in their own circles, and a lot of the times those circles don't break, and you know what I mean. A lot of guys are just in their own shop working and stuff, and all the really epic tattooers, they're not really out there like putting their name out there anymore because they don't have to. They're already like, you know,
Just doing the work.
yeah, they're just doing the work, and they're just like happy doing the work.
Yeah,
And you know, there's heaps of Brisbane guys, and then all the Sydney guys, and then the Melbourne guys are different, and it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, there's different bubbles.
There's totally different bubbles,
Yeah.
yeah,
but it's like I don't know. I feel very fortunate to be a part of it,
Yeah.
and to be, you know, even to do this kind of podcast and just talk shit with tattooers and
yeah, it's really fun.
yeah,
It's a good opportunity.
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. It's been really awesome.
But it's cool because Sam's starting to kind of do some more traveling and get his name out there.
Yeah.
And he's, I think, going to be a really, really, really incredible tattooer. Well, he already is, but,
Yeah.
you know, like I think, I don't know,
Well, he's only like 5 years. He's
Yeah.
only been tattooing 5 years,
yeah,
and he's doing that.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I can't wait to see the next
Yeah.
5 years.
I can't wait to see his
Likewise.
sleeve when he comes back.
Yeah.
So he's going to get tattooed off Lipa in Poland,
Yeah.
which is like something I wanted to do, but then, you know, like I was like, oh, too old. Can't be bothered.
It's a long way away.
Yeah, but he's got youth. He's got beans. So
Yeah.
it's like, please. Yeah, so he's going to cop a full sleeve.
100%.
That's
4
so
days,
sick.
4
Can't
days
wait.
straight.
Yeah, can't wait to see
No
it.
way.
What an animal, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Holy. Good on him though. It's gonna be really cool watching him grow and watching him change.
Yeah.
Seeing what he's doing in
He's doing
10
pretty
years
good.
time.
Yeah. When I was his age, I was absolutely useless. So he's doing real good.
We were talking about this with Greg last night, how like I guess social media and having the internet available to us has like kind of fast tracked a lot of artists.
Yeah.
Like they have so many resources available to us
Yeah.
that people didn't have.
It's like
Back in the
every
day.
generation, it seems, you know, like every generation evolves off the generation before it. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
a lot of people get jealous of that. It's like, man, witness the miracle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just do sick tats.
Yeah, like, you know, young people, you know, obviously the pros who've been doing it 20, 30, 40 years, there's something they have that young people
No, yeah.
cannot grasp. because of the time and the looseness or whatever. But the young people, their ideas, their passion, their drive, it's cool.
Yeah, they're hungry.
Yeah,
Kids these days are really hungry.
They are.
Like, I couldn't believe it when we were over in Singapore. These young tattooers that were all working at the shop owned by the guy who put the convention on, they're just so like hungry for it, and they would have just done tattoos for free if you let them. They didn't, they just wanted to do tattoos, and it was crazy. They were so ingrained in it, and they'd all tattooed their whole bodies, like their hands and their neck and their face and everything, because they were just so passionate about it, and they loved tattooing.
Yeah.
They loved tattoo. And I thought, fuck, this is so refreshing. These like young dudes like that were just so gung ho about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, I don't know, there's these new like surgence of kids. I think that's the right word. Sorry, it's too early. There's this new like wave of kids that are just, man, that you can see it in their eyes.
Yeah.
They're tattooing. They don't even need to get paid. They don't want to get paid. They just want to fucking do some sick tats.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're all about it.
Yeah, I also like the I guess the generation maybe below me or 2 generations below, I'm not really sure, maybe a generation below me. So they maybe started 10 years after, and now they're sort of coming on to 8 to 10 years as well. And that's awesome to see as well, because they've still got the drive of the youth, but they've got the experience as well. And you're like, look at that.
Yes.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
They got the patience still, whereas I got no patience anymore. That's like, done.
It's like that, eh?
Yeah, and I was like, let's just get this done, make it look as good as possible, as quick as possible.
Yeah.
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 That's nice. I know. It's just all for fun at the end of the day.
Well, it's for cash too, bro.
Oh yeah.
No, but it is, yeah. If it was like didn't have to do it for money. I mean, you got to have some exchange.
Yes.
But for me, the money, it's never really been a focus at all.
No. Money always comes.
And in fact, sometimes it inhibits, the quality. Like, because when I tattoo tattooers, I can't help but hook them up because, I would tattoo them for nothing. But, I got to pay my bills.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, when I tattoo tattooers, it's a little bit of a treat because I know they're going to get hooked up, so I don't have to charge as much, and then I feel a little bit freer. I feel like sometimes knowing that, they're going to pay $1,000, $800, there's like a burden of being faster, I'm trying to make sure they get their money's worth for sure.
Sure.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to rush, but there's pressure there for sure.
Because you tattoo more tattooers in Brisbane than probably anyone else, and tattooers will come to you like from all other shops.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me.
That's cool, eh?
Yeah, like there's so many tattooers that I know that come to you for their tattoos.
Yeah. It's sick, except I'm poor. No, not poor.
Yeah. Well, you're trying to hook them up, right?
Well, I like
But
it. I like it. I prefer to tattoo tattooers because
It's always an honour.
They like tattoos. I know they like tattoos or they love tattoos. So, I just feel like the motive's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane because you tattoo loads of tattooers, but you also tattoo heaps of famous people as well.
Do I?
Like,
who?
Oh, like I was talking to Greg and he said that you tattooed like Winston McCall from Parkway Drive.
Yeah, tattooed Winston heaps.
Yeah,
in the early days. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, tattooed his little feet, tattooed his kitty cats on his feet. I can't remember what else. I've definitely done more. Oh, his knee. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tattooers and famous people. It's incredible.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he's famous now. He was popular, but he wasn't like famous then.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was pretty chill. Just another kid from Byron.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I think the most famous person I tattooed, maybe Alex from Atreyu, and I tattooed Marta from Bleeding Through when I was over in LA one time. She was married to one of my friends, and yeah.
That's crazy. You tattooed Alex from Atreyu because I was talking to Sam Clark and I said to Sam, who's the most famous person you've ever tattooed? And he said, probably the bass player from Atreyu.
Oh, Oh, true.
I thought, oh, this is actually so wild because like Atreyu, you know, back in the 2000s was such a big deal. Nowadays, like
no one knows who they are now, or at least the young people don't. I should say, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's really funny because like in our generation and age group, we're like, Atreyu, yeah, they're a big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were.
I wasn't a fan, like because it was Greg's mate Charney, and she was doing heaps of tours back then. I think she called Greg and was like, oh, you know, Alex wants to get tattooed. You know, it wasn't like he purposefully sought me out or anything like that. It was just he's on the road, wants to get a tat. Charney hooked him up. So yeah, just tattooed him. I'd never even heard their music. I just
Okay.
knew that Atreyu were popular with like a few people I knew. And so then I went to the show afterwards, and it was sick. I was like, man, these guys are pros. This show rocks.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
they were so good.
It
Hey?
was sick. Yeah, I was really impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the same now that he's actually left. Alex
has
has
he?
left.
Okay.
So the drummer is now the singer.
He always was the.
He was singing. He was always
Yeah.
singing like the melodies and stuff, but he's now doing all of it.
Is he doing the screamy bits too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And,
How's he go with that? Pretty good.
Not as good.
Okay.
It's
All right.
nowhere
yeah.
near as good as it
Okay.
used to be.
That's a lot of effort for a drummer too. 3 rolls.
No, I don't think he drums anymore.
Oh,
I think he
true.
just he's the vocalist now.
Oh, okay.
He's like stepped behind the kit and some other poor saps behind him.
Suck shit.
Yeah. Hitting the tubs. You know.
Take the limelight, mate. You've earned it.
I agree. He's been in the band a long time.
Yeah. He's really good.
Yeah. Ah, awesome.
Well, look, Rachi, we're up on time, but thank you so much for coming on our podcast and talking to us.
Thanks for having me. What
Ah,
a
it's-
treat. Good fun.
It's been a pleasure.
I think a lot of people are going to get a lot out of this, hearing what you've got to say. Like,
Yeah.
you're very ingrained in your work, and you fly under the radar so well
Cool.
that people are probably going to, I don't know, I can't wait for the world to hear this.
Yeah,
And
if they can get through it, they don't get bored.
Nah, I'm sure they'll be fascinated.
yeah, but we really appreciate having us in your shop and your home as well. We stayed in your home last
Yeah,
night.
thanks so much for having
Oh,
us.
you're always welcome.
Yeah.
Anytime.
We really, really, got so much love for you and Greg, and yeah, we hope you had fun on the podcast.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
did. Yeah, a bit nervous last night when you rocked up and you're like, "Want to film a podcast right now?" I was like, "Fuck no."
well, we'd just driven. I think 10 hours yesterday, and I was a bit frazzled as well. I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna go, but whatever.
I had the
Yeah.
hay fever tablet. It rocked me. I was like, nah,
nah.
I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah. Anyway, I'm glad we came in nice and fresh and early, and
Yeah.
we're all sprightly.
Yeah.
Except for I had a few fumbles in Greg's podcast. I just kept saying the wrong thing, but it's too early.
Oh.
Anyway,
No troubles.
thank you again.
Thank you.
Rats get fat.
Rats get fat.
We're fucking out.
All right.